Good morning. This is Eddie Marcus again. This morning, I would like to speak to the men of America. That does not just include young men, middle aged men as well, and old men. How are you today? Many of you feel that you're doing quite well. Many of you might feel that you're not doing too bad. And many of you would say that you're doing terrible. And I can understand that. You and I are living in a system that is designed to have that specific outcome. And it is those that who are having a real good time that have accepted the ways, the means of the system in which we live. And when I say system, I'm talking about the way that this government, I'm talking about the way that we move from morning to night, from night to morning, in a way of living that promotes the outcome that we have, whether we like them or not. The thing that troubles most of us is that we have accepted these systems because we don't know anything better. We grew up in these systems. We listened to those who were before us. But I'd really like to focus maybe on those who are not doing so good, those who don't have a job, those that wear their pants under their butts as an affront to the system. Those who stand on street corners and drink beer and stuff in groups because they all have the same kind of problems, that is, no life. Those who go out gambling, trying to hustle. Those who rob and steal. Those who kill. Those who take advantage of others by selling them poison. Yes, those who are struggling trying to make it from day to day. I want you to know that these things happen, but they do not have to happen. They continue to exist because you, most people who, well, should I say all people, we have been lied to. We have been deceived. And we're following the conduct of those that believe in themselves and no one else. It is not easy for you to make the change with the knowledge that you're lacking. Many of you have listened to times and men and the voices of those who have struggled just like you, who have had really no better life than you. You listen to your dads, old men who are just lying about their path. They take a moment of whatever worked for them when they had a moment of something working for them. And those of you who have children have listened to them and believed them. And you came up acting just like them because you figured that was the way it was supposed to be. That was the way a man is supposed to act. And it didn't matter whether you were cheating on your women or whether you were the benefit of a con gang, a mob, killers who offended businesses by trying to control them and make them give you some of that resource that could make your life better while they struggle to make their lives better. And many of you have gone to churches of people who told you something about a God, told you the story as best they could, as best it was written, their best that they could interpret it. They kind of justified the action that they took or addressing that you take. But the truth of the matter is it has not made things better. And what they have chosen to represent as better is that which has caused more pain, that which has caused more suffering, that which they have engaged in, and they did this to justify the actions that they've taken, the actions that have resulted in America in multi-billionaires, the actions that have taken that have resulted in multi-millionaires and millionaires and people that were really, really rich, even people who are called the richest group on earth or the richest person on earth. Anybody that falls in that group are the most deceived, most evil people on earth, and they do not even know it. They tell you that they've been blessed, that God chose them to bless them while they can have all the resources, take advantage of all the resources that are not theirs, that they have found some way to concoct and deceive the rest of the world to say that it's okay, that it is legitimate. No, my friends, that's all cockety cock. You think about a nation that calls itself the greatest nation on earth. To be under that umbrella means that you are the most deceitful, most hateful, most humanless system on earth. And in various places, you have special resources that other spaces do not have. They're there for a purpose, a good purpose, a benefit, if you walk according to the conduct of a system that is designed to accomplish just that. Yes, I've identified you. I've identified us. The things that I'm telling you are not a mystery. The things that you are going through, I have gone through them already. And like you, I was blind as a bat, didn't know any better. But for some strange reason, my eyes opened and having seen there are things that I do not like. And that's the way I have lived my life through you, going and doing the same kinds of things. And they're not changing. And you're not getting the message that would bring about the required changes. I'm here to give you a different message. And I want you to think with me for a moment, if you will. We live on an earth. Most of us don't know anything about the earth. We just know that it's here. We live on an earth that have resources. They call them natural resources, meaning that they came with the earth. We don't really know any more about where they came from and how they exist than that. However, we do know that those resources are used to do the things that we, the people, have determined are absolutely essential for us to survive on this earth. That means food and clothing and shelter and all of the other things that we've done. Some of those things we didn't have to have because for hundreds of thousands of years we went without them. But now we have them, like cars and planes and yachts, these kinds of things that are something strange to some people. Never knew that they would exist, and now they do exist. And having recognized this, many of us never get a chance to engage in that process. And at the same time, everything that exists on this earth that is being used by human beings were made by human beings. That was your participation in the manifestation of these wonderful tools that's used to bring joy or rob us of the joy in our lives. How was this able to happen? It was a system. But the reason that you are going through the pains and suffering that you experience is because the system has been exploited by those who do not know the truth and don't want to know the truth, perhaps. They are called human beings. The system that allows the world to be as it is, the system that allows America to be in as it is represented as we see our nation today engaged in a war. And what is this war about? It is about the same thing it was about when they took the land from the natives. It's about the same things when they took a people and forced them to be slaves. How do they do this? By killing them. And nobody wants to die. So the Indians fought, the natives fought, everybody who was in a situation like that fought. But for some strange reason, there were others who were dirtier, who were meaner and cruel than the rest. And they prevailed. They prevailed on people who did not know the truth. And it is required that you know the truth. It is the truth that frees you. It is the truth that you accept and respond in kind that delivers you from the hell that we're living in. All of us, listen well. Yes, there's a system also that I think you should know about, and that's why I'm here. And it is about the system that does all the things that you look around and see existing, and you know that humankind did not have anything to do with. And you can tell the difference because the things that humankind have to do with are corrupt. When I say corrupt, that means that it benefits some and really hurts others. The wars, as I mentioned, that are going on. Men, your fathers, your countrymen, who have determined that they are going to oppress other people. They're going to offend other people. They're going to rob other people, take their resources for your benefit, they say. It's not really for your benefit. It's for their benefit. They will give you some change off of it to make you feel blessed. That's not a blessing. I want you to know that the system, the divine system, is the one that you have no knowledge of, and I'm here to tell you about. It is about that system, my friends, that made the earth and the resources and you that have made it possible for you to be here on this earth. And being here on this earth, you're required to take something from this earth in order to survive, whether it's just using the resources. But the thing that legitimizes it is that you have a role to play in the development of this divine system. Today, if the war gets out of hand like it has in the past, these crooks will call you the fathers, you sons and mothers who they have put down, you blacks who they don't have no respect for. They will call you and put guns in your hand and demand that you go out and defend their lives, that you go out and defend their crookedness. When I say defend, that means kill for their ideas to prevail or die for their ideas to prevail. And you know what? You've always responded in kind, and you will today because of a lack of knowledge. But what I want you to really think about, ladies and gentlemen, men of the world, Americans, is that that does not have to be. The system of the divine have allowed you to come here. And being here, the, the just as it gave you the power to breathe, just as it gave you the requirement for blood to flow through your body, all of those things, it also has designed it in such a way that you can engage in life, not just be workers of whatever happens, but have a system that works for the benefit, not just of those who are super rich, not just for those who call themselves superior and entitled to, no, to work for every last one of you. Why? Because every last one of you are to engage yourselves in one way or another in the system. And that basically means to participate through a designed way of engaging yourself in the making, in the working of life. Each of you have a desire to do something, to be something. Maybe you manifest because of what you've seen done. Maybe it just came as a natural desire that when you came here, you brought it with you. But what it is to determine, I'm speaking to all you men who are suffering, all of you men who can't support yourselves and can't support your families. It came so that you can know what it is that you love. And once you know what it is that you love, you must understand that is your purpose on earth. You are designed to engage yourself in that. And those things that you love, they've already been established, but just exploited. The exploitation must go. The divine system demands that it goes because it must allow every last one of you to engage yourself in that which you love. Not just doing something because someone will pay you to do this. No, that is a part of the con. You choose what you love, and what you love, as I say, is already established. It plays a part in life. And then if and when you do this, maybe I should move the if. It's when you have done this, when you have recognized that career, that job that you love, and engage yourself in it. Now, the system must be designed so that you will be permitted to engage yourself in it. Today, it is not designed that way. So that means there must be change. When you engage yourself in that which you love, the same power that created the earth that we had nothing to do with, that provided the resources that we had nothing to do with, will provide you with something that the world can't give and the world can't take away, and that is joy. That is an acknowledgement that you have a connection with the truth, that you have an opportunity to really play a major role, and you are playing a major role in this divine system because everyone will be engaged in it in some way or another. And when you all of you engage yourselves in this process, doing what you love and receiving the joy of it, you will create an abundance of not just food, clothing, and shelter, but in education, in healthcare, in transportation, in infrastructure, and all of the other things that we know that exist. And even more than that, it won't be just AI. It will be you doing and living, and no one will ever have to suffer a lack of anything that they need, want, or desire. This is the divine system that you know nothing of, that the schools don't tell you anything about, the churches don't tell you anything about, but it is just as real as life itself, as death itself. And yes, to wake up to this system and decide that you choose the system and actually start engaging in making a manifestation of the system. The crooks that have deceived the world will be upset, and they will do all kinds of things to prevent you, to stop you from causing the right system to live. And the number one thing that they count on is that they will kill you. But I want to tell you that once you have decided, once you have made the choice to support the divine system, you will not be afraid of death. You would walk, no one would have to ask you to pick up a gun and go fight. No one would have to ask you to go kill to cause a manifestation of their corruption. No, you will be willing to give yourself to make sure that the divine system that it's possible is representative that the earth exists will also will be the representation that the divine system exists, because all of us, all of you guys, all of the people of the world, especially men doing their thing, will guarantee and assure that there will be no lying, there will be no need for corruption, there will be no hatred, there will be no racism, there will be no bigotry, there will be no killing, there will be no wars. Why? Because you have changed and you have caused the manifestation of the greatest system that's possible for men and women or human beings to ever establish in existence. You, my friends, would be actually participating in your divine life, in your promised life. You will be playing a major role in seeing that the heaven that we live is as great as any heaven that you can imagine. So I want you to know that this is available to you. This is what is required of you if you want to get out of this hell. And yes, it is hell when you compare that divine living, that divine life with a life of capitalism, the life of communism, the life of socialism, the life of men without the true knowledge of life telling you what to do and forcing you through whatever means. even if they had to have, in America, black people, millions of poor people in prisons and jails because they've been so exploited and were denied the truth and didn't know what to do, and they did what the system permitted them to do so they could be victimized. I wanted you to know this, ladies and gentlemen. There was no sleeping comfortable throughout the rest of this morning, knowing that this information was lacking. And so I hope that you get a chance to listen to this video. I hope that it makes some impact on your life. And when I say impact, I'm talking about change. Change is required. Not just the kind of change that the Republicans talk about or the Democrats talk about. No, I'm talking about the change that the power of creation is all about. And I hope it means something to you, because all of us, and I say all of us, not just you, yes, you're part of freedom. All of us will never have to suffer again. It doesn't happen overnight. Forever, ever since the existence of humankind have been experienced on this form, it has been corrupt. But now you have the information, you have the knowledge at least to start and make this a changed, different world. I challenge each of you to stand up. I challenge each of you to be the representation of the power that is responsible for the creation and putting you on this earth, that you yield to that power. You be like that power wants you to be, and not like the power that wants to kill you. And remember, each of us, as we are here, each of us will die anyway. But just let us make sure that if we die and when we die, we leave a better world for those that are left behind, that they do not have to suffer the ignorance that we have suffered all of our lives. I want to thank you so very much for your attention. Till next time.